Hey Super Cruisers, it's Frank and Kevin from Cruising with Wheels.
Today we have another Q&A for you. So before we get started, Super Cruisers, I want to remind you that you can share our videos. It's very easy. You simply have to click the share button below this video so that all your friends, family, and other cruisers can see these videos.
And you know why? Because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
And you don't know what you don't know, so maybe others don't. Share it.
We encourage you to click that subscribe button if you're not already a Cruising with Wheels family member. It's very simple. Just click it. And don't forget that little bell to get regular notifications of when our videos are live and when we go live. So let's jump right into today's first question.
Right, because sharing. And this one comes from our private Facebook group, Cruise Chat, from Dave Webb. For our next cruise, we are considering if it's worth spending out money on RFID sleeves to protect our bank and credit cards. As I've been reading, skimming crimes are very rare. So should he do it? So let's talk about what is RFID.
Well, RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification Technology, and it uses radio waves to identify people or objects. And there is a device that reads information contained in a wireless device, or tag, as they call it, from a distance without making any physical contact or requiring a line of sight.
Yeah.
You know, like credit cards.
Right. So
your passport.
You don't have to actually have the robber with his hand in your back pocket stealing your wallet.
Now, what is an RFID sleeve?
RFID blocking wallets block RFID signals using electromagnetic enclosure technology called a Faraday cage. Yeah, this technology makes your credit cards electromagnetically concealed by distributing electrostatic charges or radiation around the cage's exterior, thus protecting its content from electric charges.
Now, people might ask, what is skimming? And
Right.
skimming is basically contactless payment cards that have radio frequency identification tags in them, which can be read from a distance by using a scanner. The same RFID technology ensures the operation of building access cards and transport cards. Therefore, data on all types of contactless cards are not secure. RFID sleeves can protect you. And although many people say, you know, skimming is rare, I get concerned with it.
It's not rare if it happens to you.
And why not protect yourself?
Right, if you can.
If you can.
Right.
So we say, yes.
Right, why
you should
not?
protect yourself. Why not?
Why leave that door ajar when you can close it and lock it and then just not worry about it? You don't want to be one of the rare cases.
And I think of, this is what I think of when we're talking about RFID technology and securing yourself. Because many of the cruise ships now are going to RFID items. So whether it be a medallion on Princess Cruises, a watch or a band on, you know, on Royal Caribbean or Virgin Voyages, some of the NCL ships, now their cards have the RFID wiring mesh in it.
Inside the card, which is why they tell you, don't punch a hole in your card.
So I say, protect yourself and keep all these things in a protective sleeve.
Right. I mean, technology is a great thing until all of a sudden one day you're the one that kind of gets screwed.
Now, what's the next?
Well, the next one is a comment again from our Facebook cruise chat group, and it's from Mary Jane Younger. And she says, my sister and I had a cruise scheduled for next summer on NCL. We took out the trip insurance with NCL when I booked the cruise. My sister very unexpectedly passed away 10 days ago. Can anyone give me an idea of what happens now so I can kind of prepare myself before I talk to NCL?
Now, first of all, we want to give you our sincerest condolences to you and your family.
Very much so.
But if final payment has not been made yet, you simply need to call NCL and cancel, and you will get your money back. You don't even need to use the trip insurance. There is no penalty other than the insurance is not refundable. And in some instances, when you book with a travel agent instead of directly with the cruise line, you will forfeit your deposit. However, if final payment has been made, what do they got to do?
Well, you notify, obviously, the cruise line and insurer of the cancellation in writing. Explain the circumstances, provide any supporting information, such as a death certificate, if they require it, if they ask. The cruise line will reimburse you based on the number of days prior to the sailing that you
Kind of like
canceled.
a sliding scale.
Right, based on their cancellation policy. And again, you should go right to NCL, look at the cancellation policy. Again, this is if you have already made final payment.
Correct.
And the trip insurance should cover the balance of what they are not going to reimburse you.
And Mary Jane, I want you to be very specific of who you need to call, because if you have booked this cruise with NCL directly, meaning you booked it via the internet on your computer through the NCL website, or called the NCL 1-800 number and used one of their personal cruise consultants, then you need to call NCL. If you booked this through a travel agent, whether it be someone locally in your area, or used,
Like
someone like cruises.com or an outside agency, then you need to contact them, because they are the only ones that handle your cancellation. And of course, if you've purchased your insurance separately from your agent or NCL, as we're finding that a lot of people are doing, and it's after final payment, you will need to not only call NCL or the travel agency, but you'd also need to call the insurance company.
Right, absolutely.
To cover your loss.
The next one, again, is from our Facebook group, Cruise Chat. It's from Tisha Brown. And this is, she asked this question on July 23rd, 2022. And I say that because, again, it's specific to COVID. So I always want to say that when the question was asked, because you all know things change daily. And the question on July 23rd was, do all cruise ships require COVID vaccinations now?
Well, it used to be that way, but now a lot of the cruise lines are allowing a limited number of unvaccinated cruisers to sail, something like 10%. So you need to check out the cruise lines' websites to see just who is relaxing their COVID-19 vaccination policies. Carnival, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Virgin Voyages, so on and so forth.
They're all doing the shore 10%.
Now, for NCL, it's still okay for unvaccinated children 11 years and under to sail with vaccinated parents, but as of the question, things have loosened up pretty much across the board.
Up. You know, here in America, the CDC has pretty much canceled everything related to the cruise lines.
So I've noticed that a lot of the cruise lines have done a kind of like a systematic thing where they are saying, if you're already booked on sailings, we require vaccinations for those particular sailings going up until a certain date. And then I'll give you an example, and I don't know what cruise line it's attached to, so we're just going to say Cruise Line ABC says
I know that
as of September 23rd, they're not requiring vaccinations.
So again, what cruise line are you sailing on? When is your sailing departure date? Things are changing.
Now, the next question comes from a super cruiser, Cheryl Croft. She's cruised with us on our group cruises before. She's cruising on our group cruise again. And if you're interested in cruising on our group cruise, which, by the way, has been opened up to non-vaccinated people, You simply have to do what, Frank?
Email us at cruisingwithwheels@gmail.com.
And I will get you the information required to book that cruise. We've got a lot of cruisers coming with us, a lot of activities planned, and we would love to have you sail with us.
Right.
But Cheryl asks,
Let's share what Cheryl is asking.
was just offered a chance to bid on an upgrade for Virgin Voyages next month. There are 10 different levels. She's never done it before. And are there any comments or suggestions that that we can give for trying to get that upgrade?
So, again, we go through the step-by-step process that Virgin Voyages lays out. First one is eligibility. Passengers who have booked a voyage with Virgin Voyages via their website, their Sailor Services Department, registered travel agents, or a third party are eligible. A valid email address is required.
Now, as far as submitting your offer, an offer refers to the total incremental amount per cabin. Per cabin. So it's a little bit different than some of the other cruise lines when they do their bidding for an upgrade. This is per cabin. Then an eligible passenger is willing to pay for the opportunity to upgrade from the cabin class that was originally purchased for travel with the carrier to the higher cabin class associated with the offer. If there are 2 or more passengers on the booking, one passenger must submit an offer to upgrade all passengers on the booking. The offer amount shall be applied to a per cabin basis, and a cabin might have multiple open offers to upgrade to different cabin categories.
Right.
So be careful.
It's a bidding war, baby.
Now let's talk about acceptance and rejection of the offers.
Well, the carrier, we know
which
who
would be Virgin Voyages.
they are, may accept an offer anytime during the bidding window. You will receive an email if your offer is accepted. Payment will only be charged or deducted if an offer is successfully accepted, and payment shall be charged in the full amount immediately upon acceptance of the offer. If the passenger's payment method is declined, he or she will have the opportunity to address the matter with their credit card company and resubmit payment to the carrier. If the declined payment is not addressed and you just let it go, the upgrade offer will be void and the original booking and price will stand.
Now, what we always suggest when you're doing these offers is, like always, number 1, you should have been happy with the cabin that you had to begin with, right?
Right.
And not hoping that you're going to get an upgrade. 2, you should hope that if you get the upgrade, it's in a good location, right? Because, again, you don't know where it's going to be.
Right.
And so we say tread lightly. Tread lightly with how much you're willing to offer for that upgrade, and
what you think is a good bidding offer might not be what other people think is a good bidding offer.
Right. So it's a little bit difficult when we deal with money issues.
It's a very personal thing.
Now, what's the next question?
Next one, again, comes from our cruise chat group from Kathy Lalonde. And she's asking, how do you get from LaGuardia Airport to the Manhattan Cruise Terminal?
Well,
there's a lot of ways.
There's a lot of different ways. The journey time between LaGuardia and the Manhattan Cruise Terminal is around 40 minutes and covers a distance of around 10 miles, believe it or not. That's just how it is. And the journey between the JFK Airport and the Manhattan Cruise Terminal is around an hour and covers a distance of about 18 miles. You can either do Uber, a taxi, a transfer, which would be purchased through the cruise line if you're flying in the same day. We generally go from JFK, and the reasoning behind that is there is generally less tolls.
Right.
So your transportation costs will be a little bit less.
Right.
And we know the route.
Right. And I always time it from the minute that, let's say if we're doing a car service or an Uber or whoever, and I'm always timing it, because you know me, I'm sitting in the back and I've got my diary out, and I'm going, leaving airport, right? And I'm like, whatever it is, 8 a.m. And most of the time, it's been
about an hour.
It's been about 45 to 50 minutes. But again, it depends on the traffic in the city.
It depends on the time
They're
you
going
get
through the
there.
city, yeah.
And it depends on the route they go.
Yeah, right. And so far we have, I believe, had pretty much the same route because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking out the window going, yep, looks familiar. Oh, CVS drugstore. Oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's all the same landmarks that I'm used to. So, but again, all depends on what's happening in the city.
So some of our viewers right now might be asking themselves, what is this cruise chat?
Oh, Cruise Chat. It is a private Facebook group. Just go into Facebook, type in Cruise Chat, and hit the blue button, click to join. I will see your requests. Please answer the questions and acknowledge the room policies, and you'll be a member. It has thousands and thousands of members. Experienced cruisers, people who've just started cruising, people who've never cruised at all and want to. No question is too silly or crazy to ask.
And now it's time to share some YouTube video comments.
Right.
What's the first?
Well, the first one is from Teresa H., and it's regarding our video Traveling with Diabetes. And her comment, which we wanted to share, was she says, I wear a bracelet that has a flash drive in it.
Interesting.
Yes, and it has all her medical issues and medications in it. It's even better than a regular diabetes bracelet. Also, she says, I get my meds mail order that is already packaged per time per day, and it makes traveling so much easier. So we wanted to share that. So it's not just wearing a bracelet or whatever, but it has a flash drive in it. That is awesome.
Next up is from a viewer of our Accessible Cruising, the Basic Facts video that we did last month. And it was a great video. We got a lot of great feedback.
But I want to address something, this person's comment. And I don't remember who the person was because I deleted his comment. I was very irritated by it. But after I deleted it, I thought, I should not have deleted it, and I want to address it right here.
So his comment was, you look like you're reading from a spec list. I'm done. No subscriber here.
Right. And so I want to say, whoever you are, and for those who are watching, first off, we are reading from a large TV monitor that is right in front of us.
Yep.
It hangs from the ceiling of our studio. It is right under the camera that I'm looking at, and it is connected to the laptop. And you can see right now Kevin's hand. Don't move it. You'll lose the
No, I won't.
Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Now, it's our home version of a teleprompter. Which we created.
The reason we do this is because there is so much information that we have to put together that we try to organize our notes as best we can.
Right, and we have gone from the original printing it all out on paper and shuffling paper and reading and going like this, and now we actually have a monitor in front of us. And it really makes it easier for us to tell our stories. Most YouTubers have this.
Right.
Whether it's their own version like we created or an actual teleprompter.
Exactly.
You very rarely see YouTubers shuffling papers anymore. So that's first off, Mr. Anonymous. Second, I want to say what we're reading on our monitor is a result of our research. Right. Things that we've done on the topic that we're discussing. And you'll notice I am actually reading this from the monitor. Plus, we're intertwining our experiences into it to create a video for you. Hopefully that is complete, it is comprehensive, and above all, that's entertaining. And third, we want to say, we have not been to every city or cruise port in the entire world.
Nor has any other YouTuber, as far as we know.
Right, because that would be a tremendous feat. And so if we get a video request from a subscriber, and we don't know anything about the topic, like somebody says, Kevin and Frank, can you do a video on traveling to Fiji or Bora Bora or whatever? Now, we have never been there, but maybe we want to go there, and we're like, oh, I want to know all about Fiji. So what do? We educate ourselves. We do research on it. And then we bring it to you as a video to share what we have found out and what we know. So it's a combination of our experience and a lot of research. So we do the research for you and we share it with you. And I hope that's what you're looking for, because that's what our channel is all about, which is sharing.
And sharing is caring.
It is.
So, and fourthly,
there's a fourth one.
Yeah, I'd like to challenge Mr. Anonymous, because if he thinks he can do videos
Can you
better,
memorize every fact?
then I want to see your channel.
I want to see your channel.
Yep.
I want to see you
want you to
talk
put it
about
together.
Talk about Fiji. Know where it's located, what the population, the weather, and all about cruising there and all the amenities. I would love to see you have that all in your head, memorized, that you could sit in front of a camera and just spew it all out, because maybe we're not as great as you are and we need a monitor. And it's all, again, it's all the research that I have done, that I have typed up.
And finally, YouTube subscriber Timothy Johnston commented on our accessible cruising, the basic facts video again last month.
And it was something I want to share, because I want to thank Timothy, because it really, really kind of validates what we do. And I really, really want to thank him. And his comment was...
And we're going to read it.
Yes, we're going to read it.
Directly quote him.
Yes, from the teleprompter. And he wrote, it was because of your videos on accessible cruising that I booked my first cruise back in October of 2018 aboard the NCL Dawn, Boston to Quebec City. He said, I was so worried about the what ifs, but you showed that it is possible for someone with mobility issues to cruise virtually worry-free, knowing that the crew on board are trained to assist those with handicaps, and that here is a team dedicated to help with any emergency evacuations, assuage his biggest fears. From your videos, I learned to look for full turnaround access staterooms and to check that the ports we wanted to visit were docking rather than tendering ports. And now, in October of 2022, I and my best friend are going on our second cruise. Fourth attempt due to COVID. Yeah, we're with you on that. This time, it's Alaska on the NCL Jewel. We can hardly wait. And yes, I sent my accessibility form to NCL within days of booking my cruise. All that remains is to reserve a wheelchair. I normally use a walker, but prefer a wheelchair for longer distances and to avoid excessive fatigue. Those ships are so big. Thank you for being a great source of information about the options available for people with accessibility issues who dream of traveling.
It's really kind of heartwarming.
Thank you. And these are the things that we get, whether it's in our email or comments on our videos, and it validates that what we do in a small way helps others to say you can get out there, go on vacation, you can cruise. We've done it, others have done it. Don't be afraid. Thanks, Timothy.
We want to thank you for joining us for another exciting Q&A. And remember, don't just watch our videos, hit the subscribe button and become a regular Cruising with Wheels family member. I mean, for God's sakes, why haven't you done it already? And you want to click that little bell to get regular notifications of when our videos go live.
And also, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
And remember to always travel safe
and cruise often.